Hey, and welcome to The Explainer. The first 500 days of any startup are basically a minefield. It is such a make or break period, and some of the most common mistakes can stop you dead in your tracks. But what if you had a map that showed you exactly where all those mines are buried? Well, today, we're going to dive in.
And you know what? That really is the core truth of it all. This journey is tough, and challenges, they're pretty much guaranteed. But here's the thing. While some obstacles are just part of the game, a lot of the most common, company-killing mistakes, they're totally preventable. And this explainer, well, it's going to be your guide to avoiding them.
So, to make this super clear, we're going to break these 10 mistakes down into 3 key phases of what we're calling the founder's journey. First up, laying the foundation. Then, the launch. And finally, fueling that long-term growth. All right, let's start at the very beginning with phase 1, building on solid ground. Now, these are the kinds of mistakes that happen before you even have a product out there in the market. And really, they all boil down to one critical question. Are you actually building the right thing for the right people? And that right there leads us to what might be the biggest mistake of them all, building a product that nobody actually wants. It's just so easy to fall in love with your own idea, right? You're perfecting features, obsessing over the design, but if you haven't really validated that there's a genuine need for it, the journey is over before it even begins. This is a classic one, and it leads straight into mistake number 2, failing to define your target market. Thinking your product is for everyone is a recipe for disaster. It's like shooting in the dark and hoping you hit something. Instead, you've got to laser focus on a very specific group with a very specific problem that you can solve. That's how you find your footing.
And look, you can't get that focus if you make mistake number 3, which is just plain shoddy research. You absolutely cannot afford to have blinders on. Before you write a single line of code, you have to dive deep, and I mean deep, into the market, your competition, pricing, and most importantly, your customers' actual pain points.
And this really pulls all those early mistakes together into number 4, losing focus on the user's primary pain point. Look, in the early days, you just can't be everything to everyone. The greatest companies out there, they all started by doing one thing perfectly. Your job is to find that one thing and solve it better than anyone else, period. Okay, so once you've got that solid foundation, you are ready for phase 2, opening the doors. This phase is all about launching your product and, crucially, handling those first interactions with real live customers.
And right away, we hit a huge potential pitfall. Mistake number 5, launching a go-to-market strategy way too early. Your GTM strategy should be the final step. First, you have to validate the problem. Then, you need to achieve product-market fit, which is just proof that people actually want what you've built. Launching before that, it's like throwing a massive party for a product that isn't even ready yet.
So, once those customers do start coming in the door, you've got to avoid mistake number 6, poor customer service. An amazing onboarding process isn't a luxury, it's absolutely essential. If their first experience is bumpy or confusing, they won't see the value in your product, no matter how great it is. They'll churn. Or even worse, they're going to go tell everyone they know about their awful experience. And that's exactly why you cannot afford to make mistake number 7, neglecting customer feedback. It's not enough to just get customers. You have to talk to them. Yeah, talk to your happy early adopters, for sure. But more importantly, you need to talk to the people who complain. And you absolutely positively must talk to the customers who have left. It's not a fun phone call to make, I get it. But trust me, finding out why they left, that's pure gold.
All right, let's bring it home with our final phase and see how this all comes together. Phase 3 is all about fueling the engine for the long haul. This is where we go from just surviving to actually thriving.
Now this brings us to a huge mindset shift. Mistake number 8, chasing investors instead of customers. It's so tempting to think that a big check from a VC will solve all your problems. But money can't fix a product that nobody wants. You want to know the best way to attract investors? Build a tribe of loyal, paying customers. Believe me, traction is the ultimate proof. I love this quote because it just perfectly sums up mistake number 9, having no growth plan. The idea that if you build it, they will come. That a great product will just sell itself. I hate to break it to you, but that is pure fantasy. You have to be deliberate. Word of mouth is amazing, but it has to be backed up by real investment in sales, marketing, and growth strategies if you want to get serious traction.
And that brings us to our final mistake number 10, not seeking out mentors or just asking for help. This is so common, especially for first-time founders.
It can feel like you have to know everything, but you don't. I promise you, someone has been exactly where you are right now. Find those people. A good mentor can save you from countless mistakes and point you in the right direction.
So there we have it. We've walked through all 3 phases of the founder's journey and uncovered the 10 critical mistakes to avoid along the way. Let's just do a quick recap of the single most important lesson from each of those phases.
If you boil it all down, the key takeaways are actually pretty simple. In that foundation phase, it's all about validating the need before you build a single thing. During the launch, you have to prioritize the customer experience above everything else. And for growth, you've got to focus on traction before you even think about looking for funding. So now you've seen the map, right? You know where the traps are. The real question now isn't just knowing about them, but what are you going to do about it? As you think about your own journey, which one of these mistakes are you going to make it your mission to navigate around first? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.